welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We are in a battle, a big one, and we are outnumbered by a long shot. We have Fenn, who's right up front. We also have, I'm going to actually start calling her D, actually, just because it's a lot easier. She's over here, and we also have 3 rebel troopers that came out the door. Now, in the last video, I'd already placed them, but then at the end, I said, can you guys please give me some feedback to kind of adjust where we're going to sit based on all this massive enemies that came out at the end of the last video. So I got a good feedback in those comments, and a lot of them said things like keep those rebel troopers together, because when they activate as a group, and then they can make more focused fire on a particular enemy instead of splitting them up like I had, where they were kind of one in each different role basically of this map, which would have then had them taking pot shots at guys, but probably not enough to kill them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where I'm going to move them now and my strategy. My plan is to actually have them bulk up around Fenn and for us to do some insane damage as fast as we can on as many of these guys in the clump as we can. The reason for that is Fenn has a really cool ability called Havoc Shot, and you can use for one strain. It says use while attacking with a weapon. This attack gains blast 1. So in other words, if I land a hit that actually does damage to a character, then 1 damage is going to be applied to every other adjacent character. So I'd probably target this Stormtrooper and it would hit everybody else, which is awesome. I'm also going to want some backup for him, so I'm going to bring these rebel troopers closer. So we're going to do that right now. So this guy right here, he can move 6 spaces. Again, this would have happened at the end of the last episode, so I'm now doing this movement up front, or right now I should say, because I'm reconfiguring their placement. So if you don't know what I'm doing right now, go back and watch the last 5 minutes or so of the last video. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll move the first guy way here in the corner, so he's going to be right up close to make sure his shots make it. This guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll sit here. This is where things get weird, because now the line of sight basically is blocked. I can't have my rebel trooper shoot through, but I also thought about putting this rebel trooper at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's difficult terrain there, so he'd be stuck on the corner. But that's kind of useless. He's attacking a bunch of guys that are really far away, and also he's just outnumbered, so he'll likely get killed off. I'd rather him stick with the group and probably put him behind the rebel trooper that's most likely to probably get killed off first, or later on if we gain more movement when they activate, I can move him into a different position. So for now I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put him right behind him. So they're kind of all, we're just running right down the middle. We see him, we're not running away, we're not going to use the corners, we're going to go and try to hammer them with as much damage as possible. Now what you guys didn't see that I already did is, you'll see it in the last video, we used to have a medic pack here and it said 1. If you click on those medic packs, right now it'll say I don't have any, so nothing happens. But I clicked on it and it basically just says, do you want to heal 5 damage? And I did. The reason was because Fenn at the time in the last video had 8 damage total, so I removed a 5 off him. So at the end of the last video, he had 5 damage plus the 3 is 8. So I just used the med pack to get Fenn up to speed, because I think this battle down here is going to get wild, and if he happens to do 2 shots with his activation on attacking and stays put, he might take some damage, and I want him to be able to handle it basically. So we're going to run with this and see what happens. So wish me luck, because my dice rolling needs to improve if I plan to kill these guys. So first off, we come to the app. It does let us know that we are the ones to activate. There's a whole stream of Imperials ready to go here, but we get to pick first. It can be Fenn, it can be D, it can be the Rebel Troopers. I'm going to go with Fenn because I want Fenn to get his big shots off first. The Rebel Troopers would be nice to activate right now, but they're just going to take like kind of little tiny shots. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, if I don't activate the Rebel Troopers first, then I risk... this is tough. Then I risk them getting killed off, and that might be more dangerous. But if I activate the Rebel Troopers right now, then they would have their... Let me just do a quick check on the Rebel Troopers to see what these guys have. No, I don't want to defeat them. I just want to see what they're going to have for movement, because I'd love to be able to get this guy into a different position. Let's see how this pans out. Let's do Fenn. Let's activate Fenn. So Fenn's going to do his Havoc Shot. So he's going to take a strain token here. He's going to use his infantry rifle, which gives him a blue and a green. We've got it right here. We're going after Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers have a black defense die, so there we go. And it's going to be this Stormtrooper group right here. They're all considered blue, as denoted by this little targeting circle here that I'm not supposed to be using for this particular use, but I'm using it for visual reference. And again, we're hoping for blast. We need to get at least 1 damage to get through for this to take effect. And we're hoping for the best on this attack. That's good. That's not bad. That could be it. So They only got 1 block on us. We actually got 3 damage. We got way more than enough range. And by the way, guys, I totally didn't tell you who I was targeting. I'm targeting this. Actually, I did earlier when I was explaining things, but I'm targeting the center guy because I want Blast to hit everybody. And he definitely has line of sight. There's no one blocking him. I can draw 2 easy corners from where he's positioned, like so and like so. No blocking there. So basically, easy on the range. We got it, no problem. 1, 2, 3. We have a surge to spend. We can spend on accuracy, or we can spend on damage. I'd rather spend it on damage. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on damage. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I don't want to do it on damage. This is where it gets weird, because there's like some strategy here in terms of how I want to use my surge, because if I kill this stormtrooper off, he's the only guy who's literally sitting against everybody else, and if I did another Havoc shot, it would hit everybody else. But if he's dead, then I'm never going to be able to get that nice combo. The best I could do is kill this guy and have him hit these 2, which isn't bad, but it's not as good. It would be a little bit more devastating to have him pick a different guy. No, I think I'll kill him. I think it makes sense to get rid of them. Yeah, I'd rather get guys off the board. So we'll probably go ahead and use it for the extra damage. So that's 4 damage total, -1 for the block. And that is going to be a wipe of this stormtrooper right here. So this guy right here just got killed off, so that's awesome. One of the group is gone. We do get 1 blast damage. I'll give you guys the reference card so you can see actually what that says. So the reference card says, after the attack resolves, if the target suffered 1 or more damage, which he did, each figure and object adjacent to the target suffers 1 damage equal to the, or suffers damage equal to the blast value. And the blast value on my card states blast 1, so that's 1 damage. So 1 damage is going to be going to everybody. That's including this elite probe droid in the back, who already has 2. He now has 3, but I need 7 to kill him off, I believe. This one right here has got a damage. This one over here has got a damage. That's good for the stormtrooper because they only take 3 hits. And then this web engineer has now got a damage. So that's good. That was a nice shot. Now I'm going to have him do the exact same thing again for his second action. So he's going to go ahead and put a strain token on. I just knocked her out of position, so that's not good. But yeah, so there's another strain token going on Fenn. So Fenn is going to go ahead now and do the exact same thing, but he's going to target somebody different. So the question is who? Probably makes sense to go for this stormtrooper and hit the 2 nastiest characters. So we're going to go for this guy right here. So we're going to grab our dice, and we got a black die for the stormtrooper, hoping for the best. And ooh, that did not work out as well. Shoot. So, oh no, and I didn't get the range I needed either. Oh, that's not good. So my range was 1, 2, 3, so I'm just short. And actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I could be wrong. I might not have been able to actually do that shot anyway. No, that's valid. I think I can still hit him. So, but I missed him. I was trying to shoot him. I needed 4 range, and I missed him by 1. And if I had got a surge, I could have increased the accuracy, but I didn't. Oh, that's too bad. And then, yeah, so nothing there. That did not work out the way I wanted it to. So that's kind of too bad. And I also have an ability here that says Lone Wolf. At the end of your activation, if there are no friendly figures adjacent, you recover, you know, the strain tokens. So I would, but I'm surrounded by guys, so that's not going to happen. So my dice will go back to the pool. We killed off 1 stormtrooper. It's not bad. But now we're going to say that Fenn has activated, so we're ending his activation. Oh geez, here comes something bad. The regular web engineer. Bonus, when this figure declares its attack, add 1 blue die to its attack pool. Oh my goodness. So let's get the blue die ready, because that's going to probably get added to his pool. Let's see, Imperial figures. This is a regular thing to note about the actual web engineer. Imperial figures do not block this figure's line of sight. Wow, okay. And the first thing it's going to do is an attack, and it's going to attack rebel troopers. So that's the first thing it's going to focus on, and it's going to give himself these types of advantages. That's bad. That's really bad. So he's going to basically go for this rebel trooper right here. Easily the closest one. So makes the most sense. That's too bad. So let's see here. Yep, that's not good at all. Okay, so what is he rolling there? He's rolling, holy, he's got a lot. Blue, red, and yellow plus the blue. Wow, I think our rebel trooper is in serious trouble. So we've got all these dice, again, a white die for defense on the rebel trooper side, which is not exact. It's kind of laughable a little bit. This could be really bad for a rebel trooper. Yeah, it's not looking good. Oh my goodness. Did I just land? No way. Did I get a dodge? I got a dodge. He survived. He would have been absolutely destroyed. Holy. Okay, so we fluked out big time there. I don't know how that happened. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm going to take it because I had that dice rolling in the last episode. I'm telling you that was not going my way. So I'm going to take that. That was amazing. So that was their first attack. So the whole thing's a wash for them. And they have to go for the next thing. But again, you can't attack twice. The Imperials can only use one action that has a star. So he has to keep going down. It says right here, if this figure performed the previous instruction, it suffers 2 damage. The previous instruction is the move to attack, and that makes sense. If you try to move like a stationary weapon, you're likely not going to be able to do that without taking some fire. So that's kind of a thematic way of saying you take some damage. That makes sense. Okay, ignoring that, moving on. If this figure did not attack, you move forward to reposition 3. So we're done. That's basically his whole thing. He does nothing. He's not going to move because he's still... he did attack, so he's good to go. So we'll skip that instruction, meaning nothing happens. We finish it up with the app and just hope nothing else happens. All right, so let's activate the Rebel Troopers right now. Now, there's one other thing that I just realized in this playthrough that I want to make sure that I make mention of. Way earlier on at the beginning of the video, I used a med pack, and med packs can only be used when you're resting. So technically, I couldn't have used that med pack to take 5 damage off of Fenn. So I'm going to put that damage back on him. The only thing I can't do, because the app can't reverse itself, is I can't give myself that med pack back. We're going to have to remember that. So that'll be a little bit tougher. What I'm going to do to try to remember that is I'm going to put this little bleeding token kind of next to it, or whatever. I kind of think this is bleeding. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me for that. But we're just going to use this as a representation of a med pack. So basically, I'll just put it right next to the app to say that like I do still have one. And we'll continue on. We're going to activate our Rebel Troopers. Now, Rebel Troopers act very differently as allies. They don't have the ability to attack twice, so I can't just have them sit still and take pot shots. They can only basically attack once, and for all other intents and purposes, they can basically move and attack. So essentially, I'm going to put some of them are already in position to do what I need them to do, and others are not. So one of the Rebel Troopers needs to get into a better position to take shots. So I'm going to probably have this Rebel Trooper here in the back go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll have him go here. This Rebel Trooper is going to move. So that's 3 movement. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do them one at a time so that I'll activate them one at a time, movement-wise and attack-wise, so that we don't get lost as to their ability to move around, because they can break up their movement. They have a movement speed of 4. So first I'm going to move him 2 to here. He's going to attack the Stormtrooper. When he attacks, he gets a blue and yellow die. So we're going to take a blue and yellow. We get a black die for the Stormtrooper, which is right here. We're making our first shot on this guy right here. I'm going to get 1 shot at him. We'll see how this pans out. And I got myself a surge, 2 hits, and 2 blocks. So that did not work out for me. Let's see here. Pierce 1. Is that going to help me? Ignore number of defense die. Ooh, that's perfect. So essentially I can use one of my surges to ignore, using the Pierce ability on my Rebel Troopers card to ignore one of the defense die, or one of the defense symbols on their die, which means 1 damage will get through on the Stormtrooper, so that's good. So I made 1 hit. That's decent. So if this guy was make this, and he has 2 more movement now, so I can kind of put him in another position. I don't know if there's anywhere better. I might actually move him back to, so back here for now. The next individual Rebel Trooper is going to activate, so I'll activate this guy, or maybe I'll activate this guy. We'll have him move 1 and then 2. I'll take a shot at him. So we're going to go ahead and take these 3 dice, roll them out, and oh my gosh, oh, we got 1 damage through, so 1 damage made it through, so 1 more damage on that particular Stormtrooper. Or sorry, that's the Stormtrooper I'm trying to shoot, was that one, so that's going to be it. That's 3. So 3 total, he is dead. I just knocked Finn out of the way, but this Stormtrooper is now gone, so that's good. 1 less guy on the board. And I only moved 1, 2 to do this, so I'll move him back 2. And then lastly, we have this guy here. I'm going to probably go after this Stormtrooper, so I'm going to go 1, 2 to get right in front of him. We're going to do another attack here. And ouch. So full block there. I did get a surge. Surge is not going to help me at all. It'll take away one of the armor, or one of the blocks, but then I still don't have enough to get through. So that's not going to be enough. So there we go. And now I'm going to move him back to position. So that wasn't too bad, I guess. We got one stormtrooper activating those guys, so that wasn't the worst ever. And now we're going to go ahead and say that the rebel troopers are done their activation. Okay, so what's going to happen here? The elite probe droid is going to go. Now this is the elite one, so that's this guy right here. Shoot, that's the most powerful one. He has a bonus, self-destruct 3. Oh my gosh. At the end of this activation, if the figure is adjacent to a rebel and has suffered 3 or more damage, roll 1 red die, and each adjacent rebel suffers damage equal to the damage results. Then this figure is defeated. Oh my dear, that is bad. So he's gonna kind of jam himself right up in there and hurt a lot of my guys. Shoot, he's got targeting computer, which means he gains a damage and +2 accuracy. That's super strong. His priorities are recovering damage on himself and whatnot. So hopefully he recovers himself to the point that he doesn't blow up. So it says right here, the very first action is move 3 to attack Fenn. So he's going right after Fenn. So he's going to try to get as close as possible. So we're going to go 1, 2. So basically he's going to shuffle himself all the way here so that he can make a guaranteed attack on Fenn. Shoot. Okay. And then what does that elite probe droid do here? He's got a blue and 2 yellows. That's kind of high. What does Fenn have here? Fenn has not much. He's got 1 black defense die, so he'll use that. What else here? So targeting computer is going to gain this elite probe droid an extra hit right off the top, and his accuracy is +2, so he's like guaranteed to hit. To tell you the honest truth, if his accuracy is +2 to start, he's not going to bother moving any further than this. He would only move, like in my logic, he would only move 3 spaces because he's got a targeting accuracy that's guaranteed of +2, so he's going to hit him from range. And he's not going to move up beside him. He's just going to go as far as he needs to hit. And here we go. Oh, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. I'm scared. Oh, nice block, Fenn. Okay, so we got 3 damage. He got more than enough accuracy to hit me, but 3 damage is completely blocked by my defense, which is great. But 2 surges happen, and we're going to have to take a look at the priority here to see what happens on the elite guy. He recovers 2 damage first off, so this was his damage pile, so now he's down to 1. So he's only got 1 damage left on him. And then it's going to increase his hit, or his damage going out by 2. Ouch. So 2 damage is going to get through and hit Fenn, so that's not good. So Fenn's now got 10 damage. I'll transfer that over to a 10 later. So, and as you guys know, we have 12 health plus 10, so we have 22 health. And at this point, the elite probe droid is now done his attack. Now we just quickly have to check something here because I might have actually done this wrong. Let's see. Yeah, see, and this is where it would have mattered. So technically the elite droid I shouldn't have just stopped him, 3 away because of his targeting computer. He should have moved to attack me. So he should have, moving to attack means he would have used his, the move 3. He would have used all of his movement 1, 2, 3 to get right up against Fenn. The reason being is if he happened to have 3 damage at the end of his turn, he would blow up. If he blows up, he'd hurt Fenn and my rebel trooper. So he should have been here when he attacked. Didn't change anything, but just remember, to always move him as per the app. Don't make any judgment calls like I just did. So he sits here, and he doesn't have 3 damage though, because it says right here, self-destruct 3. At the end of his activation, his figure is adjacent to a rebel and has suffered 3 or more damage. Then you roll a die. So he hasn't, so he's fine. But we're not at the end of his activation. The first action was to move and attack him. The second one says move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible. So that's where it's kind of setting himself up to attack multiple people. So he's going to probably move to here, because he's going to try to essentially blow up on us, and then he's going to stop. He doesn't have 3 damage on him, so he won't explode. That's good. Now we're going to finish him off, so that's okay. We're not hurt yet, but we know that's his plan, is essentially to blow up on us. Now it's back to us, so we have to make some decisions here. We've got this thing, so we know this guy's already activated. We know the droids have the probe droids have activated. The stormtroopers haven't yet, but probably will soon. And we know the guys in the back here, the Imperial officers, haven't yet either. We're probably going to have We're going to be activating D at this point. She's going to probably come up, and I got to figure out who I want to destroy. I don't so much mind if the Stormtrooper activates. He's pretty weak at this point. I'd probably want to go after the probe droid to give him a couple hits, but then I'm worried about him blowing up on me at the end of his... Well, he just activated, so maybe it's a good time to do that. But then we got this guy here. He's pretty dangerous, actually. Now that I think about it, we dodged his attack, but he's really dangerous, and he's got 5 health. Let's try to take him out. That might be a good idea. He's already got 1 hit, so we're going to use a movement, because she is a melee character, so we're going to get her up close and personal with her plasteel staff. So she's going to move 1, 2, and that's only 2 of her speed that she has. She has another 2 she can use. Let's take a quick look at her abilities. It says... use when you declare an attack. Oh, we can use 2 strain when we attack. Choose and remove 1 die from the target's defense pool. Limit once per activation. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to take... We have 3 strain. We can take 2 more because our endurance is 5. So we can handle that. This is going to remove the defense die that the E-Web engineer would have gotten, which would be the black one. So now we're just attacking with a green and a yellow, and there's no defense whatsoever. So we're hoping for a big hit, and I'm hoping my dice rolling works out for me. Ugh, not exactly. Oops, I just flipped that over. Was it 2? It was like this, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't really pan out so good. Well, it might not be too bad. So basically with my weapon here, I can actually... I do get a hit. I get another hit for one of the surges. I get a stun, which is good. So that's not bad. We don't need the range. So basically 2 hits on him. He's not dead. We need 5 hits on him to kill him. But we stunned him, so that's good. So we'll take this stun card, and it goes in the web engineer, and it says you cannot attack or voluntarily exit your space, discard this condition. So it's going to have to discard that on their next turn. So we stunned him. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll put a stun token right there beside him, which is great. That'll slow him down later. She still has technically 2 movements, so I don't know what she really wants to do with that, per se. She could try to get around the other side to kind of become... I might go like 1, 2 and get her right in the action, like right there. I want her to kind of like, you know, try to get closer to something later on. And that's going to be essentially the end of her activation. So now we're going to end her activation off. Oh geez, what's happening now? The gray probe droid is activating. So that's this guy over here. Okay, so this guy in the far back also has a self-destruct. So the same thing applies. 3 damage at the end of his activation. He's going to blow up. First thing he's going to do is move 2 to attack D. Oh no, if he moves 2, he actually can't get to her. So... Oh no, sorry, he's shooting, so he would still try to do it. So 1, 2, he would get to here to attack me. And let's see. Yeah, he's going to make the attack. So the gray probe droid gets blue and 2 yellow, which is still quite powerful. And D is going to get 1 white die. Wondering if she can dodge this. This may not be good. Let's see. So this is the attack action for the probe droid. There's no particular extra bonuses except for the explosion that he could potentially do, but he does have this priority we have to talk about if he gets some surges. Oh my goodness, we got another dodge. How are we pulling this off? That's insane. So this is a 1 in 6 chance. I guess it's not that odd, like, to get them, but two of them in the same playthrough so far. That's pretty awesome. So this whole thing is a wash for the enemy, which is awesome. Means nothing happens for this attack. So we're safe. And then he's going to move to his next instruction. Move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible. Minimum 1. Okay, so basically, moving 2, he would jam himself up right in here like this. Because at this point, he can be adjacent to 2 people. So they're kind of like log jamming my guys in there like that. And actually, it's causing this guy to be completely useless. So now he will... Oh, I guess there's one other spot to the side he can kind of jut out around. So it's not totally blocked off. But that gray probe droid is finished. And it comes back to us. So now we have to make a decision on what we do. So we've got all these rebel troopers jammed around the probe droids. We've got D here who's got some stuff to deal with. I think the next activation for the Imperials will probably be either these guys up here or the one stormtrooper. So we could try to... I could have deactivate, attack him, and attack him. I don't know, but we don't want these guys to blow up, remember. So it might be better to try to kill them off as fast as possible. This pro droid has 7 health. Yeah, this pro droid has 7 health. This one has 5. If I use Fenn's attack and I put strain on him, which I would do for sure, I can gain blast, which would hit both. So that might be worth it. He's got line of sight and range and everything, so that would be fine. Or I could use D to potentially take out the Stormtrooper and this guy. I kind of want to take this gunner out just so he's gone. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Basically, everybody in here is activated except for the Stormtrooper, so he's probably next. Maybe I should activate D first. So yeah, let's do that. Let's activate D. So D's going to go ahead and activate for a second time. She's going to go and try to take a shot at the taking out the E-Web engineer. So she's going to use her plasteel staff, which gives her green and yellow. And then this particular E-Web engineer has a black defense die. I know he's stunned, and maybe that shouldn't be the person I'm bothering with right now. But I'm going to take my chances to just clear stuff out, because I don't know like, at what point the app's going to basically change the order of operations on me. Holy, that's a lot of surges. That's not exactly what I wanted. So basically his blocks block the 1 damage I got. If I use a surge here for an additional damage, he blocks it. I can use one for stun again. So basically I've stunned him a second time but haven't killed him. He can't be stunned twice. I could use another surge to take away one of my strain tokens. So that's nice, I guess. That really didn't work out. So that was not the best. So that was her first attack, kind of pointless. Her second one, I'm going to turn focus now on the Stormtrooper because I want to get rid of at least that group now. Hopefully this will pan out better. The Stormtrooper gets black die too. So we'll continue to roll the same dice. Much better result. That's what I wish I had gotten on the E-Web engineer. So basically we got 4 damage, 3 of it gets through. That's way more than enough to kill off the Stormtrooper group. So he is gone. So now we can come over to the app. We can clear the Stormtroopers away. Got 6 fame for that, so that's good. And she's done her turn, and she's sitting right there. I think she used both of her attacks basically to do stuff, so she's done. And that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and close her out, end her activation, and move on. Here we go, Blue Imperial Officer. All right, so we're gonna be activating this Blue Imperial Officer way in the back here. So let's take a look at his instructions and find out what he does. His bonus says the first Imperial attack gains +1 surge. So that's an Imperial attack. So that's gonna be even on his order here. So you'll see his first instructions in order. It says another Imperial figure with a figure cost of 3 or less that can perform an attack attacks the hero with the most insight dice. Insight is one of the skill check dice. It's kind of set at the bottom here. So there's a few of them actually, but the one in the middle is the insight. So 3 dice for that particular character, D, and then over here for Fenn, 2. So it's going to be D who's going to be targeted. Now if it's 3 or less in cost, we have to take a look at the numbers up in the top left corner of the cards that are still in play. So actually, Stormtroopers are actually being all killed off, so I should probably flip this over and just get rid of it actually and just move it away because we're just going to get confused. The probe droids are still there, the rebel troopers are still there, web engineer, everything else is still there. So in terms of who's alive for the Imperials, it's this probe droid at 5, this one at 3, and this web engineer at 6. So it has to be this probe droid that's going to be ordered. So basically, this Blue Imperial Officer is ordering this guy here to attack D. So this individual doesn't get to move, he just gets to an attack from where it sits. So it's going to attack with a blue and 2 yellow. I am going to get to be able to defend against this, and D's defense is a white die. So we're going to grab white die. We hope we can dodge this. That would be fantastic. So here we go. And okay, so we were able to remove one of the surges, which is kind of silly because there's so many of them. But we did actually block the only damage. So there's only 1 extra surge. There's 1 surge extra on the dice, but then the bonus is the first Imperial attack gains extra surge. So there's 2 surges. So when surges are actually coming into play, my guess would be, I don't know how you would actually determine the surges on an order, because you wouldn't look at the individual, you'd look at the individual that you're actually ordering to attack as to what their priority is, but I think we're supposed to follow the priority of him. So +2 accuracy wouldn't help, so then we'd have to move to focus, if I take a look at what focus means, which I'm actually not completely... Let's see, I thought focus was supposed to be a bad thing. Focus is in these cards here, so let's see if I can find it. They're stunned, bleeding, focused. When you declare an attack or attribute test, add 1 green die to the dice pool. After you resolve an attack or attribute test, you must discard this card. Oh, okay. This is beneficial. So my guess is that it's focused that Imperial probe droid now. So the Imperial probe droid is now focused, thanks to the order from the Imperial officer. And then 1 extra damage actually comes across. So that damage would actually get through, and then we've run out of surges to spend for the enemy. So I actually do, in the end, take 1 hit on D. That's too bad. Okay, so that resolves that first order. Now that first order, you can see, was just a regular action. It didn't have a star on it. So now we're going to move to the star. It says if this figure did not use the order, move 3 to attack. Well, it did use the order, so we're going to ignore that. Then it says move 1 to attack the hero with the most insight dice. So again, same thing. Now it's move 1 to attack. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and actually, technically, it can't do this. So it's going to have to skip this instruction too, because move 1 to attack where it currently stands is in difficult terrain. It needs 2 movement points to get to the next spot. So it can't do that one either. So the next one would say move 3 to engage the other Imperial figure with the most health remaining. With the most health remaining. Okay, so right now I have 2 Imperial officers at 3 health. I have a probe droid at 6 health. Oh, so he's going to be heading towards the probe droid. So he's going to move 1, 2, and he can't. That's as far as he can go. Oh no, he can go 1, 2, and then 1. We'll get him here. So he's actually out of the water area now. So he's on his way basically to try to help out this elite probe droid. That's not good, and that's the end of his turn. That's the blue one again. We've been moving along the track, and he's now finished. So lastly here we have Fenn, and Fenn's going to go. So this is where things are going to get interesting. He's right up against one of those probe droids. I think it would make sense to take out the one that's now focused, and the weakest one, the one we can put the most damage on as quick as possible. 5 health, plus I could potentially get some havoc shots in there. So we're going to take a couple shots at this guy. We're going to use Fenn's infantry rifle. We're going to first take a strain token to get that havoc shot. We're going to get a blue and a green die. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the probe droid's black dice for its defense. We're going to roll it off and see if we can make this work. Sure hope we can. That's not bad. So this is going to block out one of my surges. Essentially, it's an evade. So it's going to go ahead and cancel one of the surges. But 1, 2, 3 damage coming through on that particular guy, and I did get a surge, but like I said, it got taken away. So that's going to be 3 damage on the regular probe droid, which is this guy right here. So that's a pretty solid hit. Now, because I did use havoc shot, this elite guy is going to also take 1 damage from the havoc shot, so that's good. We're slowly pecking away at him. I'm going to do the exact same thing again. We're going to take another strain token on Fenn, and we're going to see if we can deal some more damage. Nice, not bad. So we got 2 damage, 1's blocked, a surge. I can use my surge to increase an extra damage, so that's 1, 2, plus a surge damage 3. He blocks 1 as 2 cuts through. 2 on top of my 3 damage is boom. That guy is gone. On top of that, 1 extra damage hits the elite guy, but this one is dead. So we've killed off the regular probe droid. We're actually doing pretty good here. Things are actually turning around quite nicely. So we can actually go ahead and eliminate. Let's make sure we eliminate the right probe droid, the gray one. Yep, gone. We got 3 fame for him. And this guy here is now in explosion mode. He's got 3. Remember, he can do that explosion thing if he triggers or activates, so that's bad. But we're doing okay. We're doing all right. But that is both of Fenn's activations, so now we'll end his turn. And I think what we're going to do right here is we're going to end it right at this point, because we're starting up with the purple Imperial officer, which is going to be this guy way up in the top. It's not on the purple base, it's on a red one, but that's okay. So we're going to go forward to the next video from here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this absolute massacre of a battle that's happening. Let me know in the comments below if you saw anything I missed, and I hope you guys are enjoying the battle. I'll see you in the next episode of Star Wars Imperial Assault. Thanks again for watching, and keep on rolling solo.